Hi, I'm CW.
And I'm Amber. And in this video, we're going to be talking about the difference between two states that we always operate from at all times.
Primal state and a powerful state. So when we talk about primal versus powerful states, what we're referring to are the different emotional states that you could be in at any given moment or in any given situation.
Exactly. Primal shows up as stress, anger, by fear, pressure, and defensiveness.
Powerful states are driven by calmness, curiosity, joy, peace, compassion, empathy, excitement. It's not about pretending that everything is fine. It's about being aware of what state you're actually in so that you have a point in changing the story.
When you're in that second state, the powerful one, you actually see more clearly. Your perspective changes how you see everything else around you.
Which is exactly why leading from a positive perspective not only increases your outcomes and gets you better outcomes, but it actually does make you in general a better leader.
It really does.
For example, I was running this initiative for a client that had a big team, really high stakes, high pressure project with lots of tension around. And I found myself leading from a primal state and I didn't even know it.
How did that actually look like for you?
Yeah, that's a great question. I was really snappy with everyone. I was looking at every problem as if it was an obstacle or a block, not necessarily being able to work through it. It was as if the universe had it out for me that week. I felt like every issue turned into a catastrophe for me. I felt the pressure of me having to fix everything alone, and I was completely overwhelmed.
Did it correlate into how your team felt too? I'm pretty sure you are the only one.
It did. And my team saw that I was snappy, pretty much under stress. I didn't have to say those words, that was the case. That was pretty much the case. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that sounds like a lot of weight that you've been carrying all by yourself.
It was from the perspective I was looking at it with all the anxiety and the overwhelm. Looking at things from that perspective was a lot of weight in that moment. It was basically anxiety wearing a leadership title.
That was such a good way of putting it.
Thanks. I did the work. So I stepped back and really grounded myself on what state I was in. And then I was able to move into a better state and lead from there.
Was it the same project?
Yeah. So funny thing, exact same project, same team, same type of problems that we see on a weekly basis. But the only thing that had changed was my attitude and my perspective about things.
Yeah, so it sounds like what you're describing is that you moved yourself from primal into powerful.
Yeah. So once my perspective shifted into a state of empowerment, I had a better attitude. My team showed up differently. They were able to solve problems, even sometimes without me being in the room. Things moved quickly and easily. I started to see problems as opportunities more so than roadblocks and obstacles that were in my way. So that was the biggest change for me, just seeing that perspective shift and doing things differently from that standpoint.
How did you become aware that you were in a primal state?
I became aware by using my emotions as indicators. Whenever I find myself being overwhelmed, stressed, I knew that I was in a primal state whenever I was feeling those things. And then whenever I was in a state of empowerment, of joy, of seeing the opportunities around me, I knew that I was in a more powerful state that I wanted to take that action from. So it really started by me paying attention to how I was feeling and using that as an indicator as to how I needed to show up and what state I wanted to be in when I made decisions and when I led the team.
So were you tracking in real time?
Yes, I was basically checking in with myself and thinking about how I'm thinking and how I'm feeling. So metacognition, really digging into how are you feeling at each point in time? Where are you leading from? And how does that feel to you?
So what you just described to me, people have probably used maybe a mood swing as another term for it, but really it's not that at all.
No.
It's really your nervous system reset.
Yeah, exactly. Because a mood swing is very quick, like, oh, my mood changed suddenly because an event happened.
Yeah.
This is a series of events happening over time that has affected me in a way that keeps me in this state for as long as I choose to be in that state.
When you're in a primal state, your brain can only do one thing at one time. Similar to what you just said, CW, it's a narrow thinking. Instead of being able to see the 3 or 4 or 5 different ways you can get through that problem, now your brain is like, I can only focus on this threat, and that's the only thing I can focus on right now.
So what we're really talking about is perspective here. And this shows up in several different ways within your organization. It can look like making decisions too fast, avoiding conversations, stalling on plans because you're not clear enough to move forward on them. Being in the primal state, how's that showing up for you?
For me, it shows up as frustration and defensiveness. It comes not only just from me, but I can kind of assess that it came from previous generations. And when you have that understanding of that, there's different layers that you have to get underneath to be able to work through those, which I'm actively working on.
We all are actively working on all of our things.
Yes.
Yeah. Go into a little bit more detail. What does it feel like when it shows up?
So my stress spikes fast. And there's this urgent need for me to justify, correct, immediately before the other person can even get a second word out.
I'm a witness.
Sorry.
I'm joking. That's the thing you don't realize at any given moment, that sometimes it doesn't feel optional when you're in that primal state.
It feels like it's a program that you just can't turn off, but it takes a lot of awareness. And all it means is that your nervous system needs a reset. A lot of times people think, oh, this is who I am, this is my personality, but it's definitely not that at all.
How do you gain that awareness to be able to shift from being in a primal state to a powerful one?
So I start by assessing it in these 3 areas.
Okay, let's hear it.
First is my body. Is there a tightness anywhere in my chest, in my shoulders?
So you're going through a body scan.
Exactly. Then being conscious enough to pause, to breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, and then a long exhale for 6 seconds. But tell my body that I'm safe and we're okay. Then I start asking myself the real question: what am I actually protecting? Is it my worth? Is it my belonging? Because whatever's in front of me is really just information. It's not a verdict on my worth or who I am.
So this looks like a breathing exercise coupled with a reframe.
Exactly.
You're not just calming your body down with this approach. You're separating information from how your nervous system is perceiving it to be an attack versus what's actually happening.
That's a really eloquent way of putting it. The second aspect for me is really assessing my emotions that you stated a little bit earlier. And it's really tuning into myself. Okay, what's coming up for me? How does this feel?
What's the third point?
My intentions. Am I getting sharp with people? Am I being short? And truly just understanding where am I coming from in the perspective of primal versus powerful as I'm actually speaking to someone.
Your external results look like body scanning and reframing, checking in with your emotions, how you're feeling. Those are the 3 key takeaways of moving from a primal state to a more powerful state. Sometimes this looks different depending on where you are. So for instance, that looks like you taking a walk to be able to do this body scan, check in with your emotions, take the walk, take the break, really observe your external world. If you can't get away and you really need to still do some breath work at your desk, we do that often.
Yeah, we do.
Where we might be squeezing a stress ball and having a conversation. As long as we're relaxing ourselves and being aware of how we're feeling and how we're showing up in that conversation, that is the most important aspect of this, is being able to see what state you're in and to move yourself.
And no matter where you are, close your eyes and just take that moment to recalibrate your nervous system to enter into the powerful state. What does it mean to you to be in a powerful state?
A powerful state at its core is the clarity that you choose. The same problem that was on your desk last week still exists today. The only real variable is your perspective about it. It's not about ignoring the problem. It's having enough space in your head and being in that powerful state to actually see a way out of it. The wider view that only shows up when you're clear enough to be able to access it. Perspective might be the single greatest asset you have. Not strategy, not experience, but perspective. When everyone else is panicking and full of anxiety, you can remain calm, clear-headed, and see opportunities that weren't previously there. You solve problems much more easily from this state.
Before your next meeting, before you give someone feedback, before you hit send on that email, ask yourself this: what perspective is leading? Am I moving from a primal state or a powerful state?
Just notice which version of you walked into the room. And once you notice, you get to choose again. Powerful. This is Clear Weather, where we help you find clarity within change.
We'll see you in the next episode.